properties and decision properties. And in fact, we have been discussing closure properties for some time now. So under closure properties, the operations which we discuss will be union, concatenation, clean closure, complement, intersection, difference, reversal. These actually we have already completed. And today we'll be looking at substitution, homomorphism, inverse homomorphism. Okay, in addition to decision properties. So let's quickly go over old ground. So what are closure properties? When after applying an operation, you get a result which also belongs to the same set. Okay, so here the set that we are concerned with is the regular set, or the set of regular languages. So we can prove that these properties, rather these operations, also produce regular sets when they are applied on regular sets. So that is the idea behind closure properties. So union, clean closure, concatenation, these come directly from the definition of regular sets, and they are very simple to prove. You already know the constructions from the construction of finite automata from regular expressions. Then for complement, we have seen that when you complement a regular set with respect to the universal set, okay, which is the alphabet star, the resultant complement is also a regular set, and you can prove it by a construction where the given DFA, how do you construct the further complement? So everything which was being accepted before must now be rejected, and everything that was being rejected before must now be accepted. So that suggests that we should complement the set of final states. Okay, so all the final states are converted to non-final states, and non-final states to final states. But remember, there's a caveat which I missed out mentioning, is that the DFA must be a complete one. It should be a complete DFA. Okay, then you get the correct finite automata for the complement also. So that is constructing for the complement. Now for intersection, of course, you can prove it using De Morgan's laws, but we can also look for a construction. Actually, I'm stressing on the constructions because these constructions are very useful tools which you can use in doing things with regular languages and regular sets. Okay. So what is done for intersection is you construct what is called a product automata. Okay, where the set of states is the Cartesian product of the sets of states of the two automata, and both the automata are sort of simulated in parallel. Okay, so here is the product automata for these two sets, and you can see that by making the final state the one which has both components of the final states of the previous automata, you can actually accept only those strings which are accepted by both the given input automata. Okay, so both by the one above and the one below. So this therefore is the resultant product automata is now going to accept only those strings which belong to both languages, that is the intersection. Then closure under difference. Difference also you can prove using the laws of logical operations or set theory. Okay, but it is possible to construct a difference, the automata for the difference of two languages by using the same product automata. What we are going to do now is, so difference, what is difference? How is difference defined? All those strings which belong in the first regular set but not in the second regular set. This suggests that the final state should be one which has the first component as a final state of the first finite automata, and the second component should not be at the final state of the second automata. Okay, so here you can see BD is one such final state. Okay, so that this automata, the same product automata, remember we are just moving the final states around. By changing the final states, we are actually changing the classes that we accept, and that is a very interesting way of defining several operations. Then closure under reversal. Reversal is the set of all strings for a given regular set. If you reverse every string, then what you get is the reversal of the previous set, so LR. And you can prove it in two ways. One is using the regular expressions. We have seen how regular expressions are reversed. Okay, so these three induction rules basically define the reversal operation. The others are just induction stopping criteria, the basis, induction basis. Okay, and these are the induction rules. And you can see they are taken directly from the definition, the recursive definition of regular expressions themselves. Okay, so regular expressions can be reversed. And if you want to, so this is an example of the reversal of a regular expression. And the NFA for, or the finite automata for the reversed set, if you have to accept the strings in reverse order, all the arrows must be reversed. You can see that. And the final states must now become the initial states, and the initial state becomes the final state. So since you can have multiple final states, what is generally done is you add an extra final initial state with epsilon transitions to the various states which were previously final states. So new start state, convert the old final states to non-final states, reverse every arc, and make the initial, what was previously the initial state, the new final state. So this now is the finite automata, obviously an epsilon NFA for the reversed set, okay, for LR. Okay, now let's come to, so this is the point till which we had discussed in the previous class. Now let's come to substitution. Now substitution is yet another operation where for a given regular set, which consists of strings created from the given alphabet, sigma here, okay, the main alphabet. Now each symbol in this alphabet is now replaced by a regular set. Okay, a regular set which might be defined on a different alphabet also. Okay, here we call it T or tau. So every symbol from the input alphabet is actually replaced by a regular set. In that case, this substitution operation gives you a new regular set, which will a new set which it is claimed will also be regular. Okay, actually there's no reason why it should not be, because you are not really introducing anything new. Instead of every symbol, you replace it by a regular expression. That's all. Which regular expression representing a regular set. So let's take the examples of the substitution operation. So let the given alphabet be sigma here, which is 0, 1, and the new alphabet is AB. Okay, so the substitution function, substitution, remember it's a function. Okay, it is defined for every symbol on the main alphabet sigma. So sigma has 0 and 1. So you define one function for 0 and one for 1. So these two, note that they are replaced by what are called regular expressions. Okay, this looks like a single symbol, but it's actually a regular expression. It's a small one. We've taken a small example. Now, if you apply the substitution on this string 0, 1, 0, then the substituted string would be each of these symbols substituted. Okay, so A, B star, A, as is shown here. And the language, if you apply the substitution to a language, that means every string that belongs to a language. Okay, the language, remember, is often represented by a regular expression. So you can now do the substitution as shown here. So the substituted language FL would be apply the substitution of on every symbol. So work in words. Okay, so on substitution on 0 star, 0 plus 1 and 1 star. So this is the regular expression which we end up getting. And this, if you look at it closely, is it can be simplified to A star, B star. So this now A star, B star is yet another language, okay, which is also a regular language obtained by applying this substitution. The substitution is defined as this function, remember F, okay, which has been obtained by applying this substitution onto the previous language. That is, what was the previous language? This L, capital L, okay, which was defined on sigma. The L was defined on sigma. The substituted language, what you obtain by substitution is defined on the alphabet tau. Okay, and the theorem says that regular sets are closed under substitution. Okay, now substitution, we are not really looking at the proof, but we'll be looking at the proof for a special case of substitution, which is called homomorphism. Now, in the previous case, each symbol was being replaced by a regular set, okay, which was here represented by a regular expression. But in case of homomorphism, it is not a regular set which is replacing each symbol, but rather a string which is replacing each symbol. Okay, so the main alphabet sigma, it is substituted. Each symbol is substituted by a string from another alphabet. Okay, so the mapping is still the same as before, but the function, if you define it, it is not, now this AB is not really a regular expression. It is actually a single string which is representing it. The string could even be the empty string. Okay, so this is now a homomorphism defined, just as we had defined a substitution before. So a homomorphism is nothing but a special case of a substitution where the replacement is not by a complete regular set, but by a single string. A single string is also, it's also one kind of regular set. It is actually a regular set itself. Okay, so a special regular set. So if you apply this homomorphism to the given string W here, you can see 10110, then the morphed string would be something like this, which is ABAB. Okay, so this is how you apply a homomorphism to a given string from the first set. And in general, if you have a string and you apply a homomorphism to it, okay, you apply the homomorphism to each symbol in turn and concatenate these strings to obtain the homomorphic image. Okay. So let's now look at closure under homomorphism. If L is a regular language and H is a homomorphism, remember it's a function, okay, defined on its alphabet, and a homomorphism is always defined on an alphabet, that means on each symbol of the alphabet. Okay, it is not defined on a regular set. And you can apply this homomorphism or this function to any regular set which has been defined on this given alphabet. Okay. So HL, what the theorem says is that, what the claim is that HL, which is obtained by applying the homomorphism to each string in L, is also a regular language. Okay, so let E be a regular expression, apply H to each symbol. So the resulting regular expression is HL. That is simple. That is how you obtain the proof. This is not really the proof. It is the outline of the proof. This is for proving it through regular expressions, but we'll also look at a proof by construction. Let's come to that. So first, let's see how homomorphism is applied. Okay, so H0. See this. We are dealing with this same homomorphism. This is the homomorphism which has been defined. Let H0 be equal to AB and H1 be the empty string. So if L is the language of the regular expression then HL is the language of the regular expression. You can actually apply it to this regular expression and you get back another regular expression which defines the homomorphic image. So here you find that homomorphism we are applying not to a single string, but to the entire language. That means to every string in the language. And you can actually apply it by manipulating the regular expression defining that language. Okay, so I think these transformations are quite simple and not very difficult to follow. So, okay, use of parentheses to enforce proper grouping. This is not difficult. You already know this. Okay. So these are various ways in which you can apply the homomorphism. And what is basically done is this expression which you have achieved here, it is simplified. Okay, so this is now the final image. So let's look at the construction. Given a DFA for L, how to convert it to a finite automata? Note, we are not saying DFA, it could even be an NFA, okay, but it will be a finite automata. If you can get a finite automata, you can always convert it to a DFA as required. So how to obtain a finite automata for the homomorphic image of L, okay, for some homomorphism defined. So what do? Replace every edge. Remember, every symbol which is accepted will actually be represented by a transition on that symbol, right? It's just an edge. So every edge you replace by a path. Because it's a homomorphism and every symbol is replaced by a string, okay? So you replace the edge by the path accepting that string. If it had been a substitution and every symbol was replaced by a regular set or regular expression, then you would replace the edge by the finite automata for that regular expression, for that regular set. Okay, so it would be a little more complex, but it's still doable in the same manner. So this is just a simpler case or a special case of substitution. Okay, so replace every edge by a path labeled HA. HA, what is HA? HA is the string which replaces A in the homomorphism in the new DFA. So now you have transitions on the new alphabet, the other alphabet T, not on sigma. Okay. So you build a new finite automata that simulates HA for every symbol and every symbol A transition in the above DFA. And the resulting finite automata may or may not be a DFA, but will be a valid finite automata for HL. Now, inverse homomorphism. Okay, so all of you understand what is homomorphism and substitution. So let's now look at how inverse homomorphism is defined. Please remember that a homomorphism is defined on sigma and maps to T star. Okay, now what we have is a language which is defined on the alphabet T or tau. Okay, and the inverse homomorphic image of this consists of all those strings in this language L, okay, which you can actually apply the inverse of the homomorphism to. Okay, so all those strings for which the homomorphic image is in L. Okay, so inverse homomorphic image of L consists of all those strings to which, if you apply the homomorphism, you will get a string which now belongs in L. Okay, okay, so this I'm sure is not clear. So what we'll do is we'll look at examples. So let this homomorphism, okay, we have defined a new homomorphism. Okay, so this function H now is defined on input alphabet. What is the input alphabet? What is sigma here?
0, 1.
0 and 1. Okay, so we define H on sigma, which consists of 0 and 1, and this H now maps sigma to tau star, and tau star alphabet is A and B. As before, the alphabets remain the same, but the functions have changed. Now it is AA and ABA. You can see these are strings. Okay, so this is a homomorphism. Now let's take this language L, AB plus BA star A. Now what I'm going to do is ask you to take a piece of paper and list the strings of L starting with the smallest. So which is the smallest string which will belong in L? It will be good if you can write it down while we discuss. Say the first, okay, what is the smallest string which belongs in L?
Ma'am, A.
A. Okay, so the length, the smallest string of length 1, okay, you don't have any epsilon in this language. Epsilon is not a part of this language. Smallest string of length 1, only one possibility, A. Any string of length 2?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay,
Not
you don't
possible.
have any. Yes?
I'm not possible, ma'am.
Not possible, right. Strings of length 3?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Yes, ma'am. ABA plus.
Oh, ABA, sorry, I was making it ABBA, sorry.
What are the strings? How many strings of length 3?
2 strings.
How many strings of length 3 in L?
Ma'am, 2 strings.
Yes, what are they?
ABA and BAA.
BAA. ABA and BAA. Any other possibility? No, there are no other possibilities. Okay, so of length 3, only 2 strings. Any string of length 4?
Not possible.
Not possible. Not possible. You can see that this is actually a language which has strings of odd sizes, okay, odd numbers. So what are the strings of length 5? I want you to list the strings of length 5, all the strings possible of length 5, and we'll stop here. So please do this exercise. I won't go to 7. List the strings of size 5 which belong to L, okay, and tell me how many there are.
And there will be 4 strings.
4? So what are they? AB, ABA, AB, BAA, BA, BAA, and BA, ABA. Have I missed out anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so 4 strings of length 5. And similarly, you can go on adding strings. But now that you have drawn up, how many strings are there in L, first of all?
7.
How many strings are there in L total?
Infinite.
Infinite. Yes, absolutely. Because remember, there's a loop here. Okay. Whenever there's a loop, you can go through that loop infinite number of times. There are infinite number of strings in the language L, of which we have now listed only the smallest few. Okay. So strings we have listed of size 1, 3, and 5. Then there will be 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and so on, so on. Okay, and every time the set will keep on increasing, right? But we are not really interested in the bigger strings. Now we have to look for those strings in L, okay, which could have appeared by applying a homomorphism to some string. So what are the strings of L that could have appeared by applying a homomorphism to some string? Is there any string which could have been obtained by applying a homomorphism to some string?
Ma'am, up to 5 we can't able to find.
No, actually you can. See, ABA is there, isn't it? ABA is there, which you can obtain by applying a homomorphism to 1, to the string 1.
Yes, ma'am, of length 3. Okay.
Okay. Is it possible that there will be a bigger string which you can apply by a homomorphism like this? I'm not getting any responses. I'm expecting some response.
Ma'am, my net was glitching.
Ma'am, no, ma'am, we can't find.
No, you cannot find, and you have to be sure. Of course, you cannot claim it until you have checked all strings, which is not possible because it's an infinite set. But you can already see that the pattern that is being followed by the strings of L, you are not going to have any other string which can be obtained by a homomorphism on any string. Okay, so the only string which you can obtain by applying the inverse homomorphism to some string in L is ABA, okay, which will give you 1. Okay, so the the inverse homomorphic image of L, all those strings which you cannot apply, cannot obtain by a homomorphism, which are in L, you have to neglect. You have to take only those strings which could have been obtained by applying a homomorphism. In this case, there is only one string of that kind, that is ABA. Okay, so the inverse homomorphic image of L consists of only one string, okay, a set consisting of only one string, which is 1. Okay, is this clear now? How we apply homomorphism and how we apply inverse homomorphism. Okay, so now let us construct a finite automata for the inverse homomorphic image. Okay, please try to follow the construction. Now we start with a DFA for the given language. Construct a DFA B. Okay, we are constructing this new DFA for inverse homomorphic image of L. Note, the set of states remains the same, the start state remains the same, the final states remain the same. Now input alphabet has changed because inverse homomorphic image, see, remember L is defined on tau, okay, because L is using characters A, B, etc. But the inverse homomorphic image is defined on the original alphabet, that is sigma, which is 0, 1. Okay, so the input alphabet is now different because we are constructing a finite automata which will accept the inverse homomorphic image. Okay, so the input alphabet is now the symbols to which the homomorphism H applies, that is sigma. And the transactions are computed by applying H to an input symbol A and seeing where A would go on the sequence of input symbols HA. Okay, so formally it is written like this. We'll come back to this. Let's first apply the construction. Let's first do the construction. Mute your mic, please. Okay, so this is now the finite automata which we have been given. Okay, so this is L. You can see it is AB plus BA star A. Okay, this is the example that we were working out. So this is the finite automata for that. And the homomorphic function which we, yes?
Ma'am, are you drawing something on the screen?
No, I'm not drawing something. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, we can, but I thought you were drawing something. That's it.
No, no, no. I'm avoiding the vacuum board so that there's no problem. It is showing some problems with me. Anyway, so just try to follow my mouse cursor if you can see it. Can you see my mouse cursor?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So that ought to be enough.
lagging a bit.
That ought to be enough. Let's do with this only. So what we have here is a homomorphism defined on the input alphabet sigma, that is consists of 0 and 1, and the homomorphism yields a language that is defined on tau, that is AB. Okay, and the language which you have obtained, which has been given here, is L, which is, note that it is defined on tau, not sigma. This is the language
Ma'am, you're muted.
Ma'am, you accidentally muted yourself.
Did I mute myself or did somebody mute me? That is the question. Okay, so we are here. What we are going to do is we are going to take each state of the given finite automata. So let's start with the initial state A here, and apply the homomorphism on each of the terms here. So let's take H0. Let's take the first function AA. So where do we go from A if we apply A? If we see the string AA, we go here to C, and then we do not know where to go. Okay, so AA does not have any place to go from the starting state A. Now let's look at ABA from A. You can see that when we see ABA, okay, we go to state C, back to A, and then back again to C, which is the final state in the finite automata. Okay, so ABA now is the homomorphic image of 1. Okay, so ABA is the homomorphic image of 1. So that means in the inverse homomorphic image, on seeing 1, you should go to C. Okay, why? Because from A, on seeing the string ABA, we are going to the state C. So here on seeing 1, we must go to state C. And this operation, this exercise, yes.
Actually, ma'am, I don't think we can see the slide that you're showing us right now, ma'am. We're still in the inverse homomorphism introduction slide, ma'am.
What are you seeing? Are you seeing the transition on 1?
No, ma'am, this is
No,
the
ma'am.
ABS slide, ma'am. The ABS slide, ma'am. Where you...
Inverse homomorphism
Okay,
slide, ma'am.
okay, let's go back to the previous slide. Can you see the what
there
is
no
written
change
on the
right
screen?
now. Like we are still in the
Yes?
slide number 25.
We're still in slide number 25. Ma'am, I think your slide is frozen, ma'am, because I rejoined and now the screen is pitch black.
Yes, ma'am.
You are here? Are you in slide number? Okay, you are in slide number 25.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll have to leave and rejoin.
No, stop. Because stop presenting and rejoin. Start presenting also.
Wow. Yeah, let's try doing that. Which slide are you seeing now? Are you seeing any slide?
Still 25, ma'am.
Now, have you proceeded to 26?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, you didn't stop presenting, ma'am. Like that screen never disappeared.
I think it's frozen over there. Ma'am, ma'am, you have to leave. In that case, you have to leave and rejoin.
Yes, I think I'll rejoin the meeting. Please stay on. I'm just coming back.
Yes,
Okay, ma'am.
Can you see any slide?
No, ma'am. It's pitch black again.
No, ma'am.
It's black screen, ma'am, right now.
I don't know what is happening. I have perfect connection and I'm not seeing any error at all.
Ma'am, you might have shared like just one tab. That's why when you are switching from one to another, the screen is black. You can share the whole screen.
No, I don't think that is the problem. Can you see my screen yet?
No, ma'am, not yet.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me try again. Can you see anything now?
No, ma'am.
It's a black screen again,
It's a
ma'am.
black screen, I guess.
But this is very difficult because I'm not seeing any error at all. Okay, let me try again. So what about now? Can you see it?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Whoever's recording, please stop this recording and see what is the problem.